Friends, now come to our power data production workshop. Here you can see how a power data is produced. Pushing the door open, we are now located in the largest, most advanced and intelligent production workshop of Geao technology. Here is the core and most important ring in the manufacturing process of Geao power data. Let's take a look. Now coming to our production line, I'll start assemble the housing, transformer, PCB board and other components precisely and test their function, safety, performance and other aspects through discrete testing equipment. This is our production capability list, which is marked with our production type, product name and other information. Friends, can't wait to know how the production line process data. Don't worry, now we invite the director of our production line to introduce one by one. This working area is our plug-in production line, which mainly performs the plug-in process on the PCB board produced by the machine and inserts some large or special shaped electronic components into the PCB board. Friends can see the operation of our staff. At the same time, friends can also see that our staff wear electrostatic wristband, which play a very good protective role in order to prevent damage to electronic components during assembly and tightly discharging the static electricity accumulated by the human body. Let's take a look at the operation process of our tablet electronic components. First, look at the electronic components that need to be pressed by hand before they can be accurately inserted into the precision of the PCB board. This is a low-shade inductive electronic component, which needs to be pressed and then inserted into the corresponding position on the PCB board. Below is our transformer electronic component, which effectively converts AC power to state DC power, and is also an important part on our PCB board. This is our heat sink, which absorbs heat quickly and dissipates heat relatively quickly, so that it can quickly dissipate heat through heat transformer. This is a resistor component. It is mainly used for voltage clamping. When the circuit is subject to over voltage, absorbing exacting current to protect sensitive devices. And our fuse electronic components. When the current abnormally rising to a certain height and heat, the fuse will fuse itself and cut off the current to protect the safe operation of the circuit. There are also our industrial inductive electronic components, which also need to be inserted into the corresponding parts of our PCB board. In the last link, I'll start test the PCB board again, mainly to check whether the electronic components in each part of us are missing and whether the precision is inserted correctly. Now let's take a look at our PCB board, which is already filled with different types of electronic components. There are our industrial inductor, capacitors, heat sinks, autocouplers, pressure chips, fuses, ICC, solid capacitors, low inductors, transformers, wide capabilities, and other electronic components. Now friends can see that the PCB board arises in our wave soldering machine from the conveyor belt. Using a pump to spray the molten solder into a solder wave and then pass the pins of electronic components that need to be soldered through the solder wave to achieve electrical interconnection of electronic components and PCB boards. It can be seen that the machine is produced automatically and the speed of welding a PCB board is also very fast. What about the PCB board that is soldered and strengthened by the wave soldering machine? Friends, let's take a look at together right now. Friends can see that the solder joints of PCB board are bright, smooth. The solder layer is uniform and thin, and the proportion to the size of the pad is appropriate. At the same time, our electronic components are very fully soldered on the PCB board and are not easy to fall off. Friends, after the PCB board is processed by the machine, our staff will also inspect and repair it, check whether there are any defects such as missing soldering, water soldering, empty soldering, short circuit, and so on, and repair them in time. This way our PCB, the quality of the circuit board is better. Friends can see that our staff is processing the situation of Lancy. Friends, it is now the process of soldering this wire of our power adapter. You can see that a locked DC wires placed on the table. Now look at the two thin wires on the DC wire. These two thin wires need to be connected to the PCB board. It can be seen that our staff welded our DC wires through the machine so that our DC wires can be more firmly and stably in contact with the PCB board. You can see that welded DC wire our production director has put in many times with the strand left, and it's not easy to fall. In this process, we use the machine to trim each connect solder point on the PCB board to make it more beautiful and compact. Friends can see the display of our PCB board. Do you think the quality is very good? Our staff will chip one by one and then put it into the machine for fine process. The following process is to assemble our adapter cell. Friends will be able to see our finished adapter soon. Install the PCB board that we have welded the DC wire to our cell, and then install the upper cell with our pins. This is a process for installing the power adapter case. In order to protect the power adapter from static electricity or external factories, Geao's power supply cells are made of high-quality raw materials, which reduces the energy loss of the power adapter from all aspects and prolongs the service life of the product. When we assemble the adapter housing, of course, our glue making process is indispensable. The role of the power adapter glue to fix the chip is to protect the chip from the external environment, prevent the chip from loosening or breaking, and improve the stability and reliability of the power adapter. Friends, have you seen how our power adapter is produced? Do you think this was the end of production? No, Geao technology has always adhered to the concept of high-quality products. Next, our power adapter will pass a series test and inspections before being sent to customers. The staff will judge whether the adapter meets the standard through the normal range value displayed by the machine, and then it will be sent to the next process. Here is the process of molding the cell of the power adapter. Its function is to protect the internal components of the power adapter from being damaged and external factory, such as dust, moisture, and static electricity. Friends can see our production director showing the adapter. The structure of the adapter cell after lamination by the electronic machine is very full and beautiful, without any indentation. The adapter cell without electronic indentation is easy to break apart. The following procedure is to age the power adapter. This is our agent rack, which has the characteristics of high automation, simple operation, friendly interface, stable performance, accurate testing, and fast speed. Friends can see that the agent rack is full of our power adapters, which can age many products at the same time. At the speed of the automated production is also very fast. The function of the power adapter agent process is to simulate the working state of the power adapter in the actual use environment, and to test the stability and durability of the power adapter through long-term continuous operation. The agent process can eliminate hidden dangers or defects that exist in the production process of the power adapter, and improve the pass state and reliability of the product. After agent, the product must be subjected to a high voltage test. The function of the power adapter high voltage test process is to test the electrical strength and insulation performance of power adapter, and to prevent the danger of breakdown or leakage of the power adapter during use. Here is to test adapter again, to test voltage, current, and so on. The main purpose is to measure the output current of the power adapter in order to realize functions such as overcurrent protection, load regulation, and phase current sharing. For bad power adapter, the machine cannot detect the value. Friends can see that the machine has no display change and the ripple will not move. When measuring with qualified data, you can see that variable display on the machine, and the ripple is also normal. The next step is to inspect the appearance. This process will check the appearance defects of power adapter products, and products with scratches will be picked out to ensure that the appearance of the product is intact. If it's dirty, clean it up in time. In this way, the adapter cell is very smooth and beautiful and will not affect the sales of customers. Below is the label information for pasting our adapter. Each of our adapters includes input voltage, output power, manufacturer, warning icon and certificate, and more. Our DC cable can also be labeled according to customer needs. And then put the labeled products in the small white box for packaging, which can better protect our power adapters. Then neatly put them into our hard cartons for final packaging. Our cartons will be marked with our product's quantity, gross weight and size. Finally, put them cartons in the finished product display area. After reading the entire production process, have you noticed that the most repeated steps are the inspection steps? And they are all manually inspected because Geao technology believes that inspection is indispensable and important task in every production link.